Starlight Legacy was developed by Decathlon and published by them as well as by East Asia Soft Limited, and a very special thank you to them for giving me a code for the game. Starlight Legacy is essentially what you get when you mash Pokemon with old school Final Fantasy. And when I say Pokemon, I mean in that you begin the game in your bedroom of a small village, you go downstairs and talk to your mother, and then you head next door to your best friend, and then you head out north of the village, out into the world for your very own adventure. There is no monster catching, although one of the characters does specialise in summoning monsters, but that's the only similarities to Pokemon, essentially, apart from the overall game design. There's also hidden chests to find in the world with little ledges that you can hop down on, and, well, just watch the gameplay footage. It looks and feels like Pokemon. But where the Final Fantasy elements come in is with the turn-based battles and the fantasy story, which is for the most part pretty standard stuff. Magic Tree gets fiddled with, and the bad guys get the MacGuffin, or MacGuffins in this point, and they get spread out across the four corners of the land, and you and your party have to set out and find said MacGuffins to save the world. So they're not winning any BAFTAs or anything, but it's serviceable, and more to the point, why the king would trust a child he's just met with the fate of the world, I'll never know, but there you go. I mean, it does. You rock up at the castle and he goes, "Hey, you, I don't know you, go save the world." Seems legit, why not? The game, it has a charming 2D pixel art style, which is right up my alley, in all honesty. Being an old crusty gamer, I really do like these kind of games. Now, you can tackle the game's 4 areas in whichever order you see fit too, which is also a great touch and adds a little bit of variety in. The music is also pretty good for the most part. I did enjoy it. The battle system is unfortunately more on the basic side, although each character has their own special skill that can be used, which is good. It's just normal turn-based combat, and there's nothing really more to it, unfortunately. Now, the game does start off quite challenging initially, but towards the end of the game you just start smashing things left and right, which is pretty normal for JRPG style games, especially if you grind away. There is some cool enemy designs as well here, but not as many as I would have liked. I just wound up facing the same couple of monsters per area over and over again, which does make combat a little stale when you couple that with just the bare bones basic combat that's there. Don't get me wrong, it's all serviceable and whatnot, and it's not bad by any stretch, but it's just nothing extraordinary. There is also some backtracking that can be done as well as you progress and gain new items that will help you get to previously blocked off areas as well, so that's always a plus for people that like mooching about and exploring. And as you do progress, you eventually get to travel via Air Dragon, which is pretty cool, and there's always a bonus when you get to travel via dragon. Dragons are cool. Now, overall, Starlight Legacy isn't a very deep JRPG, or a very long one for that matter. It only took me around 7 to 8 hours to beat the game, and that's very short for JRPG, but it is a good game and definitely worth checking out, especially on offer, and especially if you're a fan of retro Super Nintendo-esque JRPGs. It's just a really fine, fun little game, which I like to call these kind of games like in-between games. If you're in between AAA games and you need something to play, these games are always a really good palate cleanser because it's a good game, it's not expensive, and it's not too long either. But again, thank you very much to the developers for giving me a code, and please pop in the comments down below what you think, if you've checked this game out or do you like these kind of games, and as always, thank you very much for watching.